All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. So, I want to welcome us to this 3 days intensive business incorporation and financial management master class organized by Africa Innovation. I bring you greetings to the chief of officer, Dr. Emmanuel Ogunwusi, who, in his own ability and capacity, has given entrepreneur this privilege as the available opportunity around business incorporation. What do I mean? This masterclass, before I go into the overview of the training, I think it is good for us to introduce ourselves. So from there, I give the background of why we are here. My name is Ebishini Jonosari. I'm the partnership and consulting services lead for Africa Innovation. I'm currently the acting innovation manager. I have here with me my our able trainer capacity building to everybody to quickly give a brief introduction to ourselves. Let's get to know ourselves briefly. And for those who are also joining us online, I believe you can all hear me. For those who are getting online, can you hear me? Hello. All right, thank you. So once we have done with our introduction here, we also like you to give a brief introduction about yourself. Let me start from my right hand. Just your name, the business you do, and what you aim to achieve in these 3 days business incorporation masterclass.
So my name is Rachel. My name is Rachel Kapolaluwa. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm into different businesses. If I may say, I'm into solar installation and I sell solar kits.
No volume, no volume. We can't hear anything, please. Can you hear us, sir? We can't hear you from here.
No. Can you hear us now? Right, yes. So we have to cater for those online. So. Hello, can you hear us now?
Yes,
You can hear us now.
yes.
We are not be as audible as I was.
All right. So I was saying we want to hear from you, those that are joining online. Kindly introduce yourself, following this format, your name, the business you do, and what you're expecting to gain from this 3 days masterclass. Who is starting first? All right, go ahead, Abigail. Go ahead, Abigail.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Everything today.
My name is
I think
Enito
it's very
Abigail. I'm an
girl, and
entrepreneur. I sell
I
digital
still need to
cleaning products,
feeling further,
and
and
I'm here to
I
gain
get to
more
gain more
knowledge about
knowledge about
entrepreneurship.
entrepreneurship.
Thank you.
All right, fine. Thank you very much. Next, let me call Patricia. If I'm right.
Good morning,
Good morning,
everyone.
everyone.
All right, good
My name
morning.
is
My name is
Patricia
Patricia
Che.
Che.
We are
We are
into
into
construction.
construction.
We do
We
metal
do metal
fabrications, forging
fabrications,
and
cutting
casting
and
of gates
casting
and
of gates
doors,
and doors,
window and
window
fence
and
with
fence with
structural welding.
structural welding.
So I'm also
So I'm
here
also
to
here
learn
to
more
learn
about
more about
entrepreneurship
entrepreneurship
and
and
management.
management.
All right, thank you very much. You are welcome. We have Ata Fruits.
Your pass.
Hello, pass.
Hello, Ata Fruits 12 pass.
Let's move on.
All
Let's
right.
move on.
I think that is right now. All right, thank you. So now why we are here and what is the brain behind this master class? Let me quickly give this background so that you know why why you are here and what you should be expecting in the next 3 days. Basically, African innovation number generally we know for those who are outside there, business informalization has become a major problem for MSMEs, most especially, let me say in the States. What do I mean? Business formalization is something that if you speak to 10 MSMEs, hardly will you see up to 5, 6 of them that have registered their business. Now, if you do your further interrogation, why your business not registered? There are a lot of reasons behind that. One is maybe due to high charges of cost outside there that they charge for the CAC registration and the likes. Some not the cost per se, but some do not know what comes after registration. Some do not know what comes after the CAC registration. Why some do not understand the benefit of registering your business with CAC or formalizing your business. There are a lot of reasons outside there why some people decide not to register their business. In addition to those reasons are some believe that once you register your business, there are multiple taxations, there are taxes you have to pay that with the little profit you are earning, you won't be able to afford it, and it becomes an issue for you because you have a record showing that you have to come and pay, do your annual returns, filing and the likes. So these are concerns that some MSMEs have in mind and it's chasing them out of business registration. But then this session will be enlightening you on
The importance of business incorporation, business formalization. Why do you have to legalize your business? A lot of people have different complaints about people about compliance. Let me put it that way. Compliance, tax compliance, all these levies around and the likes. But then, do we understand what it takes to legalize our business? So, in this 3 days masterclass, we have experts in this area that will be talking to us about the importance of business incorporation. What are the things that you need to put in place if you want to incorporate your business, you want to formalize your business? What are the structure? So basically, the 3 days masterclass as well will be addressing business structure, business governance structure, in such a way that yes, you are not just running a business like a layman outside there, but you are running a business like an entrepreneur who knows what he or she is doing in the business. And basically, you will also learn in this 3 days master class the benefits of incorporating your business. The benefits. There are a lot of benefits to it when you formalize your business. I know of different opportunities. As I speak, I know there's this Smidan CDS or thereabouts that was announced recently. If you want to register, part of the criteria is you register your business. There's this column that has to do with CAC registration number. That means there are a lot of opportunities outside there that not formalizing your business, not incorporating your business will definitely deny you of those opportunities. A lot of opportunities now, most especially the ones that focus on entrepreneurs in Nigeria, they want to deal with businesses that are registered, businesses that are well formalized, businesses that have a good governance structure in place. So basically, these are the things that the 3 days master class will be addressing. How do you set a good structure for your business, governance structure for your business? How do you ensure that yes, you are tax compliance with your business? So that today they will not come to harass you in your shop. Tomorrow they will not come to your office and start harassing you. The necessary things that you have to do, that you have to put in place to avoid all of this harassment, this class will be addressing it. And also, one of the issue MSMEs has and entrepreneur generally is financial management. Most of us are still running businesses without a clear accounting system in place. We do not know how to manage our personal finance from business finance. Most of us still operate our business in such a way that if an opportunity comes today and they ask you to come and pitch your business to probably to investors or anybody that wants to invest in your business, most of MSMEs, most of entrepreneurs cannot boldly say this is their annual turnover. Most cannot even say this is what I earn, this is my expenses, this is my income monthly. We just spend the money as it comes, and when the profit also comes, there's no record for it. We also spend that out anyhow. So basically, this 3 days master class, we are going to be looking at how you can have a good financial management system in place in your system. We have an expert who will be coming to also talk to us on financial management. And in the class, there is a tool that we will also be introducing you to, that if you have that tool in place, it's just for you to input your figures and automatically it generates whatever you want it to generate for you. So with that, you have a clear understanding or knowledge on what is coming into your business and what you are spending outside your business. And at a glance, you can have a good financial record keeping system in your business, which most MSMEs do not have. Most MSMEs, if I ask some of us, most of us who are physically present and online, what has been your sales so far in this in the last 6 days in the month? Some of us cannot categorically say this is what this is my income and this is my expenses in the last 6 months in this July. Why? Because we do not have a good record financial record keeping system in place, and we cannot continue that way. that is the traditional ways of our fathers, our mothers, the way they do their business then. But then the new system in place, as the world is evolving, we have to go with it. So as entrepreneurs, as MSMEs, it is very, very necessary for us to be able to track, to have a system that can track what we are spending outside our business daily and what is coming into the business daily. So like I said, that session will be coming where we'll be introduced to a good tools that we can make use of, and that tool as well can generate your statement of accounts for you. So basically, you have where you can, if you need any financial statement, any financial record about your business, it's just a matter of going to the tool, click on it, and let it generate what you have spent outside your business and what has come into your business. This save you a lot of stress, and as well it gives you a good edge ahead where you have opportunity to speak to investors on your business financial management, instead of you start running a tasketa to look at how much did I have last month, what is my expense, what is my income. No, you have a system in place that already generates that for you. Just need to look at it and get and take your figures there. So in this 3 days masterclass, these are things that you stand to gain in the 3 days masterclass. In addition to all of this, now as an entrepreneur, as MSMEs, there's something that we still lack, which this training will also be helping us to look into. And what is that thing? Is visibility, our branding. Most of us are doing business and we do not have brand. What do I mean by brand? It's not just by your name. It is your business having a logo, an identity that when we see outside there, even without you putting your name, we can know this belongs to XYZ business with just seeing your logo. Do you know that another part of branding is, as an entrepreneur, no matter how small it is, you have to have a customized color branding as well for your business. That with your color branding, if people see it, they can easily speak to it that yes, I think this belongs to it. And if any document is coming out from your business, for example, if my business branding color is green and blue, people already know me for green and blue. If there's any document outside there that is not green and blue, it's easy for people to detect that no, this is not coming from this particular business. So these are part of branding that as an entrepreneur you have to develop, and this masterclass will also what? Because it's not just to also build color, it's not just to also design logo, it's doing things that align with your business vision. So the masterclass will also be training you on how you can select the rightful color, how you can design the rightful logo for your business, visibility outside, how you can bring your business to people around you to know. Most of us are doing business. The funniest thing is our neighbor, those that wake up and sleep together, do not know the kind of business we are doing. Yes, there are entrepreneurs there are MSMEs that the person staying in the same compound with them do not know the kind of business they are doing. Then if your immediate neighbor cannot say anything about your business, if your immediate neighbor do not know the kind of business you are doing, how are you promoting your business? That means the visibility there is poor. If your immediate neighbor cannot know the type of business you are doing. So basically, we are also going to be addressing visibility, how you can promote yourself outside there and let people get to know your business, both online and offline. So basically, these are part of what we will be addressing. And just to add to it, investment readiness is also part of what we will be addressing in this masterclass. Investment readiness. I've mentioned some ahead. Part of investment readiness is your business incorporated, is your business formalized, do you have a business bank account for your business? Do you have a well-structured business plan for your business? Can you easily pitch your business? In case you just come across any investor or platform, Are you readily available for this investment? So this masterclass will also tell you and we also put you through on how you can set yourself ready in case you come across any investor who wants to invest in your business. And lastly, just to add to it, you see that there are a lot of packages that we have put together in those stages, but don't worry, we have broken it down in such a way that you will understand all of this and you will get everything. So in addition to this, which is where I'm going to stop, is strategies for growth. We call it strategies growth or growth strategy. I mean growth strategy. Most of us have been struggling with our businesses. We just want the business to move forward. We've tried all we could. There are a lot of things that we've tried, but then the business is still stagnant. It's not moving. It's not moving. But then we are not happy with the way the business is. We need a strategy that can move our business from A to Z. Now, this masterclass will give you another strategy, a proven strategy that you can use to grow your business, that you can use to move your business from A to Z. So basically, these are what we will be addressing in the next 3 days that you'll be here with us. So I am very sure that probably if you have any concerns, fears in you already with what I have said, you know you are at the right place. Now, don't let us forget, at the end of this 3 days masterclass, in as much you are here with us, which was actually what I wanted to say earlier, you are entitled to getting limited liability company registration certificates, which is actually what has been paid for. We all know what they charge for limited liability company registration outside there. I know some pay as much as 70,000, some pay as much as 80,000 naira. But then Africa Innovation Hub, through the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Emmanuel Odumusi, look at it that how can we help MSMEs here who are running away from business registration because of the high charges, because of high costs, because he understands the importance of business formalization. So it's the initiative that, yes, as a way to support the MSMEs outside there, to ensure that, yes, they register their business, they formalize their business. Africa Innovation Hubs has come to that subsidized amount that, yes, you pay 35,000 naira and let's ensure that we get a limited liability company registration for every of our participants that are attending this 3 days masterclass. So not to bore you with my too much talk, I think I will have to stop here. As I'm stopping here, I will use this medium to introduce to us our trainer for today. Is an expert. Before he comes forward, I will read his profile, then you understand who is here with you. I don't want us to look at, for me as a person, I don't look at numbers in a training like this. I don't look at numbers. I attend training like this as individual. I don't look at numbers. I don't look at who am I meeting there and the likes. Be focused. You are here because of yourself and your business. So what you want to get should be your priority. So join me as I introduce to you. Barrister Ayomikun Shoguru. I'm correct. All right. So I will quickly read his profile for you to know who is here with you, and he will be taking us on business incorporation, what we need to incorporate our business, how we can have a good governance structure in our business, how we can stay compliant in our business, things to know about this. Barrister Ayomikun Shoguru is a legal strategist and managing partner at Grace Seal Legal Practitioner. Ayomikun Shoguru is a distinguished legal strategist and managing partner at Grace Seal Incorporation. And Grace Seal Legal Practitioner with deep enterprise risk management and regulatory compliance. An associate partner at Eko Solicitors, Ayomiko previously served as the chief compliance officer at Prosphere Nigeria, establishing its reputation for navigating complex regulatory landscapes. His practice is uniquely bolstered by his executive experience in technology as product director at Blue Spectra Technologies, and co-founder of the fintech platform Ashiri.ng. He bridged the gaps between legal theory and operational reality. Ayomiko is a leading authority on integrating artificial intelligence into legal framework to optimize internal audit and regulatory adherence. A dedicated mentor committed to leadership excellence, Ayomiko combined his institutional legal pedigree with a tech-forward mindset, ensuring his clients achieve strategic objectives through a framework of uncompromised integrity, operational resilience, and sustainable high-performance growth. Brethren, participants,
Wow.
work together to welcome on board Barrister Ayomiko Chinyere. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you. Is my working?
Yes, your mic is
I confirm that everybody can hear me.
online participants.
Can we confirm that I'm audible?
Yes, we are audible.
I'm clear. All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ayos Esquire. I'm a legal practitioner, and I also am a project manager. Today, I'm going to be facilitating for us a session on legal compliance, legal structure compliance, to help us to properly understand one, how to set up businesses. Second thing is how to structure those businesses to best fit our goals for the business. The third one is to how to ensure that we remain compliant with the requirements of the law. Just to be certain, how many hours do I have? How many minutes?
You have 1 hour, 30 minutes. Yes.
What's not studying this left?
No problem.
So let's get into this. I'm sure for most of us, we already know certain basics fundamental. Some of the things that we already know is what is companies. In fact, from the time we were small, much younger, before we even ventured into the entrepreneurial space ourselves, probably while we were still in primary, secondary school, we have heard of things like limiteds and PLs. Yeah. But the avoidance of doubt, is there anybody that has never heard of limited and PLC before? I'm sure we've heard about it. And we used to wonder what it displayed. As we grew older and became more experienced in the world, right, we probably began to have better understanding of what these concepts are. For instance, you have an uncle who you probably know is the managing director of a company. They say he's the general manager of one company, right? But you also know that there is still another auntie somewhere, and that's a shop that is called so and so enterprises, right? And when you are still at it, there is somebody that you heard of in your church who has this NGO that does charitable activities to different kind of people. So of course, in the course of life, we hear about these things and we kind of have an idea of what these things mean. Today, I want us to get into the nitty-gritty of it so that we can fully understand it, not just as foreign concepts, but as something that we can apply into ensuring that our own entrepreneurial activities are properly structured. So where are we going to start from? We're going to start from the concepts of business structures. Legal business structure. What is a legal business structure? A legal business structure is the structure or the format that your business has chosen to adopt in order to represent itself to the world, and for which it has registered that format with the government. A lot of English, right? To make it very simple, what I'm saying in essence is that when you decide that you want to run a business, there's the kind of way you want that business to be framed. And that framing that you have now registered is your legal business structure. So let's use the illustration of houses. Some of us know what a story building is. A story building is a house that has one upstairs and one downstairs. Right? Quite simply. So that's one structure. But there are houses that we call bungalows. Right? You know that a bungalow is a building that's just one level. No top floor, no upstairs. Everything is just on the ground. Right? Then you have skyscrapers. Skyscrapers are multi-tiered buildings that probably have over 10, 12, 15 different levels. Even with this, right, in the multi-level buildings, we have flats, apartments. So you can have the multi-story flats where there is one flat here, there's another flat here, there is one downstairs, another one, that's another format. And then we then have duplexes. A duplex is a house that has upstairs and downstairs, but the staircase is connected inside. So you can move from upstairs to downstairs from inside the house itself without needing to go outside. Now, so these are frameworks, these are formats, these are structures for houses. And for each of those houses, what the house can do is different. So let me give an illustration. We speak about the duplex, for instance. For a duplex, you can move between the upper floor and the ground floor without anybody outside seeing you. If it's not a duplex and it's just a story building and the staircase is outside, you cannot move from upstairs to downstairs without exposing yourself to the rest of the world. People will be able to see that, okay, somebody moved from upstairs to downstairs, moved from outside. That's a major difference between how the structure of a duplex creates functionality that is different from how the structure of a multi-story building that is not a duplex creates functionality. In the same vein, the formats that we choose to adopt, the legal structure that we choose to adopt for our business creates functionalities that is different from one to another. Now, at the fundamental core, right, we have three kinds of businesses, business structures. Fundamentally, we have three kinds of legal business structures that you can adopt as an entrepreneur. The first one is what we call a business name. The second one is what we call a company. The third one is what we call a charitable organization. Now, for the purpose of today's interaction, we will not be talking about charitable organizations because we are looking at profit-making establishments. And charitable organizations are structured not to make profits. So we'll just be zooming in on business names and companies. Just to be sure that we're on the same page, I want to know how many of us here have already registered a legal structure for their enterprise, for their business. You already have become here a business name. When I say show of hand, already registered, you're registered. Online participants, can you just give us a show of hands if you've already registered the business? Right? How many hands? How many?
How many hands?
The thumbs up, something to indicate. Okay, I'm not seeing any show of hands, so I'm going to assume that it's either they cannot hear me or they have not registered the business structure. Now, because you've already registered, it means that some of the things I'm saying here is not foreign to you. However, what I'm going to be exposing you to is something that can then influence your decisioning around whether what you've already done is the best for your goals, or maybe you need to rework it to something entirely different. So, like I said earlier on, there are primarily three, we'll be focusing on two: the business names and the company. So, what's a business name, really? A business name is simply your way of informing the entire world that this is the name that you, an individual, would like to do business in. How do I mean? What's your name, sir?
Okay, I'm Sunday.
How Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. So Mr. Sunday sells spare parts in Ejigbo market. And Mr. Sunday wants people to be able to differentiate the shop in the Ejigbo market from other spare part sellers in the Ejigbo market. Mr. Sunday then decides that one, he needs to find a name that whenever anybody enters the Ejigbo market, if they ask for that name, you'll be able to find him. Now it's very easy for you to just say, ask for Mr. Sunday. Right? But imagine that you enter the Ejigbo market and you're looking for Mr. Sunday. They're like, now like 5 Mr. Sunday there here. Now start describing him that yes, he's tall, he has hair, he wears glasses, he's cute. I mean, right? That does not really help his business.
Yeah.
But imagine that he has a name that is unique to his own business, which anytime anybody is looking for him, they mention it, everybody will know that that's his own business. And for which he can also put a sign outside his store and say Sunday and Sons spare parts business. So let's assume that's what they call it. Right? And so everybody in the market now saying, Sunday and Sons, Sunday and Sons, Sunday and Sons, start calling him SES. Sunday and Sons. Right? Whenever anybody comes to say just ask for SES, at that point it's already distinct and different from every other Sunday in the Ejigbo market. So don't forget that in all of this, Mr. Sunday has not created anything else. He has not done anything. Nothing new has been created. He just gave a name to the activity he's doing as an individual. The activity he's doing is selling spare parts, and he wants to put a name to it so that nobody will be confused as to who he is or who is the person that is doing this business as Sunday and so on. So let me say something else. Imagine that Mr. Sunday then sells spare parts, but he does not have anything registered. He sells spare parts to somebody else. And then he has told everybody that I want to be using Sunday and Sons, but he has not registered it with the government. So they are already calling him SDS, Sunday and Sons. He's even in front of his shop, right? But he's not registered. And then he writes a receipt for somebody and he puts Sunday and Sons on it. If something goes wrong with the spare parts, and Mr. Sunday decides that, let me run away, nobody will be able to trace or identify who is this person that has been using Sunday and Sons to do business. Because there is no registered, there's no database, there's no registry that has the record of who is this person that has said that he wants to be using SCS or Sunday and Sons as his business name. So once again, the essence of a business name is to inform the world by registration that you, an individual, is the one that name wants to be associated with a particular name that is being used to do an activity, a business activity. Like I said, nothing new has been created. Nothing new has been created. Now, other business names, right? You can do it either as an individual or you can do it in conjunction with other people. So how do I mean? Myself and Mr. Sunday can decide that we want to create spare parts and law enterprises. So what we will be doing is that we will be using spare parts to teach people about law, whatever that means. Right? So, I mean, whatever that means. Maybe by the time they have trouble, they'll call lawyer. I'm just saying, right? And so Mr. Sunday and I said we will go into a partnership. But we want people to be able to know this partnership that we are doing, this collabo that is the two of us. Or maybe Mr. Sunday says, he knows suppliers in China, and he has been to China before. He knows the full market. Me, I say I have money to invest. It's okay. Let's come together. We'll run this business together. You will be getting the supplies. I'll give you money to get the supplies, and me, I'll be selling them here in Nigeria. Your own job is to be doing the traveling. My own is to be selling, and I'll be providing money. That's how we have agreed. But that's a partnership. This partnership that we've now created, how would people, what would we call it? Right? For this reason, we then have to register a business name so that people can know that this is what this partnership should be known as. Once again, we are talking about business names. And business names do not create any new legal structure. Do you hear me? Business name does not create a new legal structure. It is just putting a name to a business you're running.
Right.
You have a business, you're running it, a business name simply just puts a name to it so that people can know that this is what you're doing. Nothing new is created. What then happens is that you then have to inform the world, am I creating a sole proprietorship, which is just me? Or am I creating a partnership, which is me and somebody else, or some other people doing this together? All right. Moving on. Do you have any questions around business names? Any whatsoever? Anybody?
Yes. Nonsense.
No questions. For our participants online, is there any question? Okay. If we are together, please share me a thumbs up. I know that we are all on the same page. All right, then. So let's talk about the company. The company is where most of the heavy lifting is. That's where the real work is. Because the company is such an interesting thing. The company is one of the 12 wonders of the world. Because you see, in law, we have something that is called a legal personality. So I will explain what a legal personality is to us very quickly. A legal personality simply means that in the eyes of this law, this is an individual that has life, that has breath, that can exist, right? So this individual has rights, which it can enforce. And this individual too also has obligations. So all of us in this room are legal persons. We have what is called legal personality. To the extent that we can sue and be sued in our own names. So somebody does anything to you, because you have legal personality, you have a right to sue somebody. And if you do something against somebody else, because they have legal personality and you also have legal personality, they can sue you for the thing that you've done to them. Now, children who are called minors, although they have legal personality, it is not yet a fully mature legal personality. And to an extent, some of the things that you will enjoy as an adult, they cannot enjoy it as a child. They are going to require somebody else, a guardian, to help them to enforce those things, whether it's a right or an obligation. But apart from natural persons, because you are a natural person, I am a natural person, there are also other things that have legal personality. Something else that has a legal personality is a company. A company has full legal personality that is different from the personality of the individual shareholders or the people who founded the company.
Sorry, I didn't get that fast.
A company has full legal personality and is different and separate from the legal personality of the individuals who founded the company. So with a business name, the business name does not have its own legal personality. A business name shares the same legal personality as the person that owns it. What that basically means that the business name does not have the rights. It's not a thing. Like a business name is not a thing. It's just a name for your business. Your business is what you do. So I can be in my house crocheting. You do crochet, yeah? And that's what you do. That does not mean anything. It's just a human activity that you're doing. And then you then sell it to people and they pay you back. But if you want people to know a name to identify this thing you are doing by that is unique to you. You give it a business name. End of story. If anybody has any issues with your crocheting or your business name is crocheting, guess who they sue? You as an individual. They're not going to go and sue the business name per se because the business name doesn't have any legal personality. It shares the same legal personality as the person that is saying, I, Rachel, wants to be trading under the name and style of Rachel Crocheting Enterprises. Which means anytime that you see this name, know that it is me. And when you see me doing crochet, know that this is what I want to be identified as. It's just a name. But for companies, the moment you register a company, you have created a new legal entity that has a unique legal personality that is not the same as the legal personality of the individual people that came to form it. Now, we have different kinds of companies. We have the limited liability company. We have the unlimited liability company. We have the private limited liability company. And we have the public limited liability company. And we then have the public unlimited liability company and the private unlimited liability company. Now, almost nobody does an unlimited liability company. Almost nobody does.
Sir, can you come again? I'm trying to. How many parts do we have?
We have a limited liability company. We have unlimited liability companies. Now, these limited liability companies and unlimited liability companies can either be private or public. So it's either private limited liability company or public limited liability company, and same thing for a limited liability company. And I was saying, almost nobody registers an unlimited liability company. Because when I say limited liability company, are you with me? It is a sentence or a phrase that has a real meaning, and the meaning is carried in the words that make up the phrase itself. Right? Limited liability company simply means that the liabilities means I want to use a very simple word here. The liability means that the amount of holding in quote that the shareholders or the people that founded the company will carry is limited. That's what it means. Their liability is limited. So what does it mean to have a limited liability? It simply means, for instance, that now that we have created a new company, and this company has its own legal personality that is separate from me, the founder. If you want to sue the company, if the company does anything that has offended you, who do you sue? Not me. Sue the company. Dangote sells sugar. Dangote sugar, you do not like it. You used it and you purged. You want to sue. Who do you sue? You sue Dangote, not the human being, but the company. Dangote sugar. That's straightforward, right? Yes. In the case of a business name, on the other hand, you and your business, if the business is you are the business. Sue everything together. But for a company, a company separates legal personality. But the fact that there's separate legal personality does not now mean that the people that founded that company do not have a level of liability. Liability means they are liable. Liable simply means they are responsible. Now, the level of responsibility under the law, or liability, like we like to say, is limited to something. What is the limitation of that liability? We call it a limited liability company because your liability to this company, that is to say, how many of us speak Yoruba? Everybody. Gbese company. What I owe this company, my obligation to this company, my liability, my responsibility is limited to a certain amount. And so usually, a company will have shares. And and the value of the shares might be ₦1,000,000, right? And the founders of the company, what we call the pioneers, the people that started the company, would probably all take shares in the company. A share simply means that, we are talking about responsibility, we're talking about liability, we're talking about obligation, we're talking about debt, we're talking about what you owe the company. All of you will share it amongst yourself.
It's shares.
That's what a shareholder means. A shareholder means that I have come to say that this is my share of liability. This is my share of responsibility. So if you own a share, you are owning a share. I know that we like to think about owning shares as a good thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing because you are simply saying, this is my share of liability to the company. Now, if you understand that this is your share of liability or this is your share of responsibility, the question you then, to what extent can what the company do affect me? What this means is that if a company has share capital, that's the capital that we want to share. The capital that we want to share is usually the amount of money that all of us say, to start this company, we need to put this money on the table. To put this money on the table, we want to start, someone should give me a nice company that we can start now.
Yes,
Yes, what are we going to do? Tell me what we do. And logistics business, a logistics company. This company, we are going to buy bikes. We're going to have a software platform. We have to have social media. We have to employ an operations manager. We have to employ a mechanic that will be checking on the bikes. We have to have corporate customer care. We have to have a service center, a pickup location, drop-off location. All of these things will cost money, right? And so, all of us in this room, how many of us? We are 7 here, at this 6 right now, at this table. Decided that we're going to start this logistics company. Someone should give me a name for our company. We are starting company together now. You guys want to be involved? What's your name, ma'am? Busayo. So give us a name. What are we calling this company?
Best company.
Best company. Who likes the name? Argue. This is our company.
Best company.
We don't like it, Abby. Best movers.
Best move.
Best move company. Anybody else? I think I'm liking best move. Yes. Best. You like best move?
Swift drive.
Swift drive. So we have a conflict now. Swift drive or best move?
Swift drive.
You like swift drive too? Best move, swift drive, best swift drive, drive swift best, move swift drive swift move. Kayode, what's your input?
I think best move is.
You still like best move?
still like best
Let's vote very quickly. All in favor of best move, let me see your hands.
It's a logistic company now.
Yes.
Yeah, they are moving.
All in favor of best move, hands.
Swift drive.
1, 2 people for best move. All in favor of swift drive, let's see your hands.
Swift drive, man.
Our swift drive or best move. You can just laugh it. It's okay. So we have a new company, and our company is Swift Drive. Now we have to go and register this. Now the question is this, because I am not even getting to the part about registration. What's very important is to understand what the company structure means. Now, the 6 of us have decided that we are going to have this logistics company called Swift Drive. How much do we need to start? What's your role? Like, what's your specialty? Operations. Operations company have calculated for us for the next 10 years the amount of money we are going to need. The 10 years is far. For the next 2 years, to be able to break even or to make profit, this is the amount of money we are going to need. How much do we need? 20 million naira. We're going to need 20 million naira. That's 20 million naira. We need everything at once, so we need it in tranches, batches.
In batches.
Okay, when will we start making profits? In what year? Year 1 or year 2? Year 2. So that means that until year 2, no money is coming. We are going to make money, but as profit, but we will be turning it over. Yes. So to get to the point where we can now have money to turn over, what do we need to set up? How much do we need to set up the business itself? 15 and 20 million.
You have depends if it's a bank.
A bike?
If it's a bike logistic company,
okay.
Or a vehicle logistic company.
So for a start, you can start with things like you can just employ them with their own bike.
Okay.
Why will we accept to be
No,
employed?
not even employee. For a start, I think we can just try and get a source. When we have something to deliver, since we are logistics company,
Yes, just
we
come
get
here.
1 or 2 persons, not like they are registering with us. You understand? We get a reliable source. We know they are there when we need them. So they just deliver for
Why
us.
would
As
you
time
want
goes
to
on, we can now get our own bike and then
Yeah, and your own riders too.
Yes.
So we are going to be outsourcing the delivery
Yes.
and then monitoring it to fulfillment.
So that means where the
So we don't need 2 million. We used to
where the need to be is that you have to have a system where we source for
the riders.
we will source for what we want to deliver. Then we get the riders to deliver it. So riders will register with us to deliver our products. It's no longer you owning the drive. So it is maybe later the riders come in. Because
Alright.
if you are
Oh, wait, sorry. I don't want to. Yes, I get.
But you understand?
Yes, I get.
Developing
But the
a
most
business
important thing
already.
right now at this point, at this table, is that we have agreed that we need how much?
20
million naira. Now this 20 million naira, all about the share. Now all about the share.
Okay.
Yes, you bring your part, I'll bring my part. Right. So who is the person that wants to be the person that is going to carry this business on their head?
Yes, you.
Does not have to be the
It
CEO.
doesn't have to be this year.
And that is why it's important that we're having this conversation.
Okay.
Who is going to carry this thing on their head that is going to motivate everybody else? Who wants to be said that? Who is the founder? I'm the founder. I'm in the yes. Okay, so what's the message? Let's say very quickly. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. So, thank you. We will outsource. So, I'm going to be the founder because we are 6, right? And this is 20 million naira. There is no way to share 20 million naira among 6 people equally. Is there a way? 6 divided by 20 million divided by 6 gives us some points, have you?
Yes.
Okay. So, but something else that we can divide equally is among 6 people in 18, right? So among 5 people it could be 15. So I will take 5 million. I'll contribute 5 million.
Okay, so that's starting equity.
Yes. Me, I'll contribute 5 million. So there is 15 million left on the table. You guys want to take it equally, or how much you want to contribute? 3 million.
So it now depends.
Tell me how much.
Yeah, so it may not depends, okay, if I'm contributing more, what will be my percentage share in the whole company structure?
Just tell us how much you want to contribute
5
first.
million.
5 million. So 5 million, 5 million, 3 million,
That's 13 already.
30 million, and we have only 7 million left. How much do you want?
I'll be contributing for.
4 million. How much? Accountant. How much do we have now?
We have 3 million left.
3 million left. Between Kayode and your name again, sorry, forgive me. Musayo, yes. So who wants
3 million. I'll do 2 million.
are you okay? You can over subscribe, you can have more money.
To share my own.
Yes. Do you want to contribute money? I like this. Yes. Contribute. How much do you want? We are contributing it, or we are not giving it out. Just so you know. All right. So, how much are you taking? 1 million, 2 million,
2 million.
4 million, 3 million, 5 million, 5 million.
And then 5 online,
25 billion naira online. Okay. So, I want this into something that we can all look at. I want to be able to reference it. Somebody should put this in a table for
This
me.
is the board.
All right.
A board.
Okay. Yes. Beautiful. Can we all see this board?
Okay. Yes, they can see it.
So make it 7 people.
Can we relocate this to
You
a more
can move it
central
to
position?
No, it won't start.
I want to move it so I can have space here.
Why not move the camera later?
Thank you. All right. Thank you. So the people that want to be part of this company, hi, my name is D. Love, right? 5 million naira. Okay, what's your name? Titi. Titi is taking 3.
No, 11. Okay.
Mr. Sunday. 5 million naira also. Miss Busayo, Mrs. Busayo, I think maybe. Mrs. Busayo. 1 million. Kayode. 2 million.
Rachel.
Rachel. What's the name of our online participant?
Patricia.
Patricia also 5 million. And at this point, we have a total of 25 million. So we're looking for 20 million, but currently we are even oversubscribed. Which is good.
Yeah.
So let's talk. If we have 25 million naira as our starting share capital, okay, let's assume that with all of us here are now people who are going to be the shareholders. Shareholders means that we all own the share of this capital and also a share of liability. Now, this capital can be either paid up or unpaid up. When I say share capital is paid up, what it means is that as all of us are at this table right now, everybody has dropped their money. Take. As soon as you have dropped it, what have you done? You have paid up your shares, capital. If you have not paid up your money, your own is unpaid up, right? So let's assume that I have paid up, Titi has paid up, Sunday says he is coming, right? Sayo has paid, Eddie also said he's coming, Rachel has paid, Patricia said she's coming. At this point, we have 8 million, 9 million, 13 million paid up. Paid up. And we have a balance of 12 million unpaid. Because we are talking about limited liability, I need us to understand the concept properly. If the share capital of this company is 25 million, and I have paid off 5 million, what it means is that I, as an individual, I have fully paid up the liability I have to the company, which is 5 million naira. Which means that to the extent that anybody wants to sue this company, I am only liable to pay 5 million. So if this company does anything wrong, defraud somebody, does anything that is civil, and they say, go and pay XYZ amount of money. The amount of money I'm going to drop is 5 million. And guess what? I've already dropped. So even if you sue the company, it does not affect me. It's none of my business. You sue the company. Between you and the company. I owe the company 5 million, as the extent of my liability, and I've dropped it. I paid it off. But same thing for CT. But the day that they sue the company and they're supposed to pay 12 million, the company will now come and meet Mr. Sunday and say, Mr. Sunday, how far? Stay hot 5 million. Drop it. So if Mr. Sunday does not drop it, they can then go into his own personal assets and get that 5 million naira out by selling some of the things he has. Because the extent of his liability, even though the court has said, go and pay 100 million, the extent of his own liability is 5 million. My own is also 5 million, but I've already dropped my own 5 million on the table. I've been using it to buy bikes. Right? He has not dropped his own. So because the company then is still owing those people in the 100 million, and now they've sold all the bikes that we got and they've sold everything, Or maybe we even say, don't sell anything, we have money. Go to Sunday. So Mr. Sunday then says, okay, here's your 5 million. Mr. Sunday to say, I don't have. He say, hey, you don't have Abi, at your house in Iberokodo, you have catched it when you have the money. So we now understand the concept of a limited liability. My own liability is limited, his own liability is also limited. But because I paid up in my share capital contribution, I'm good. Because he has not paid up his own, he still owes that liability. But guess what? Even if the company at this point is paying 1 billion, cannot take more than 5 million. Wow. Because that's the limit of the liability. And that's the concept of a limited liability. Do you have any question?
So, for instance, we have been sold for 100 million,
Yes.
and the starting it is not even up to that.
Yes.
And then there are some people that have already paid that they are not owing
Yes.
insurance. So how do we make up the balance?
What do we
How does the company
good? Because we must distinguish between us and the company. The company resolves its own problem. Different. I mean, so but because maybe we care about the company, what then happens is that we can then the company can decide to go and borrow money, which is the company's own debt, not my debt. The company can decide to sell assets, or the company can do what we call declare bankruptcy. Bankruptcy simply means at this point we are unable to pay our debts. So that's what happens. That's what happens. Now, why is this very important information? It's very important information because most of us, when we form our companies, we form it with a share capital of 1 million naira. Right? That's not everybody knows. 1 million. And what it then means is that if you are doing business with somebody who comes to meet you and says, we want to do this transaction with you as a company, it's involving 100 million naira, that's the value of the transaction. And you're supposed to probably supply them, and they will pay you over a period. And you go and do what we call due diligence, which means that you investigate the legal structure of the company, maybe as this, and you see that the share capital of that company is 1 million naira. Just know that if at any point, this audio is not working, this one
It's working.
can you hear me?
Okay, just they can do.
Now, if at any point in time that transaction, something happens, and you've supplied that company goods worth 50 million, and they have defaulted in their obligation to pay, maybe they have a 3-month payment cycle, and on month 3 they not paid, month 4 they have not paid. Just know that when you sue that company, you're not getting more than 1 million naira out of that company, except they have assets. And if their asset is already, there is no existing asset, there is nothing you can do. Even the 1 million naira would most likely have gone into setting up the company. So you might not see anything. Which is the reason why when you are entering into certain transaction, go and check the liability that is of this company has. How wide is it? A company is in a 100 million naira transaction. They are doing 1 billion naira transaction, but they are a 1 billion naira limited liability. That's a very bad company to do business with.
No, do you think that's there?
Or just do a search. You can see what their liability is, how much the share capital of the company is, right? And so one of the things you would understand is if a company has share capital of 100 million, simply means that the shareholders have agreed to contribute 100 million. If they compare the 100 million, the 100 million will probably have been in assets, or even not in assets, maybe in, we call it a little like overhead, rents, and maybe salaries. Okay. If this company has existed for just 2 years, most likely will think that 100 million, they cannot have paid it all on salary. You probably have some of them in assets. And if you go and eventually discover that the company does not have actually 100 million, maybe some of the shareholders have actually not paid up their Now, for some of us, when we register our companies, one of the things we do is that we say the share capital is fully paid up. Because the government will collect stamp duties from you for that amount that you said you have paid. So as far as the company is concerned, if it's a 1 million naira limited liability company, they will charge you 1 million naira stamp duty. Stamp duties for the value of 1 million naira, which can come to about some thousands of naira. right? So in the eyes of the government, you have paid. However, if something eventually happens, you will actually check if you are still holding the money in your own personal account, and they then force you to pay. So we have companies that are people register at 10 million, 100 million, limited liability, but they actually have not dropped their actual money. They're just saying it's a name. And so when the what's it called, paymaster comes and says money is due, eventually they can then force them to pay that money. And they have said it's the liability that they are willing to expose themselves to. What do you think?
As we are now, please.
Please go on.
As we are now, are we entitled to something like that? You just mentioned.
Please come in. Or what are you sorry?
We them that just come that once we make stars, we say that just come back.
Yes.
Are we to pay government? We just say this money.
So, like I said, all the charges that you incur, I don't know the arrangement that Africa has, right? But if you wanted to register a company, the government will charge you the stamp duties to the value of the amount that say your share capital is. Once you pay the stamp duties, you have fulfilled the obligation on the part of the government that you actually have paid that money. Because the money is not some money that you give the government. The 1 million, for instance, you don't give it to the government. Put it in your company account. Right? So it might be there, it might not be there. The government doesn't know. But if one day the company is now owing money, and you are not saying you don't have money as a company, they will open your books. And you look at the books and say this company is supposed to have 100 million that is shareholders are supposed to have contributed. We cannot see any trace that this person contributed 100 million or 20 million. Or his own share is 5 million, what is his 5 million? And then you have to show that one way or the other, they actually paid that 5 million. Now this amounts, these shares can be this liability capital can be paid up either in cash or something other than cash. So for instance, I can say I have land that is worth 5 million naira. You guys should, I give it to the company, you guys should use it. Right? I might say that, oh, I already have 3 or 4 buyers. And I think it's valued at 5 million or 2 million. You guys should use it. I've still paid up. So everything is not always going to be cash. It could be in assets other than cash. Okay. So, but the money that is the share capital is not given to government. Government just charges you stamp duties because of registry. Your job as all of us contribute this money now. Our work is to then open a corporate account, put that money inside, and ensure that when the company then needs that money, they can draw down from that account to whatever they can. Any questions at this point? None. All right.
Another question.
Please go on.
About the sue or no sue.
Yes.
What if the person you want to sue is not a limited liability company? How do you do that?
Like just an individual, just a regular person. Like
Yes. Or business thing, yes.
you just sue them.
Okay.
There is no limit to their liability as a businessman. If somebody you do a transaction that is worth 100 million naira, it's a business name, and they say they don't have money. The owner of the business, you sell everything that they have to get your money out. The person that is so quite or the partners.
What if the person that wanted to must be limited as well?
No, you don't have to. Anybody can sue anybody. But as long as you have a legal personality. And don't forget, the legal personality is either a natural person or an artificial person. A natural person is an artificial person is a company. So anybody can sue anybody. Any legal person can sue any legal person. So why is the company important now? We can already see that the company protects shareholders from liability. Whereas in the case of a business name, like your crochet business that you're doing as a business name, right? If anything goes wrong, you do crochet for somebody, the person said that this is crochet. I washed it. When I washed it, I wore it, and then I wore the crochet, I entered the rain. As I entered the rain, it then shrunk and squeezed my neck, and I felt like I was going to choke. And so I'm going to sue you. I should not want me that right? And they sue you because since it is true, should have warned them that if they wear their crochet inside the rain, it will shrink and it will choke them, and it is a hazard. And because you did not do that in your washing instruction or whatever, your label, you are not liable to them for 30 million. Yes, who's going to pay the money? Okay.
Good, don't catch up.
Now, because I want us to dispel certain myths around companies, These people, what are they called? Shareholders. Thank you. But we all know that companies have something that we call directors.
Directors.
Yes, directors.
Director.
Yes, they are not directors. Directors. So who are directors? Okay. Shareholders are the owners of the company. These guys own the company. They own it. Directors, on the other hand, are the ones that run the company. So, Busayo, who is contributing 1 million naira, and we can tell her that, see, all of us, we have money. Busayo, you don't get money. You know 1 million naira that you have. You know what? You don't have time. Right? What will happen is because I am the one that has the most money. The rest of them are not trying to compete. So why then? The one that has the most money. No one's going to happen. I'm going to be on the board. Who else wants to be on the board of directors?
I think I'll be on this
I'll
one.
be on this one.
Okay, yes.
It's 2 million. It's 1 million. I cannot be on board.
Yes, you can. You also want to be on the board.
I want to be on board.
So everybody, Patricia, are you on board? Are you going to be on the board of directors? Patricia, you have 5 seconds to respond. 5, 4, 3. You're still laughing.
Sorry, sir. I'm having issue with the background. There's noise on the background. It's making it so hard for me to.
I should laugh. So somebody else have the speak microphone on. No. The microphone is on.
No.
Is it better now?
Is it better now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we are asking you, Patricia, are you willing to be on the board of directors of our company?
Yes, sir.
Subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are all on the board. Right?
Yes.
Can you come again?
Oh.
I asked if you are willing to be on the board of directors of our company.
Yes. Yes. I'm willing, sir.
Good, so we are all on the board of directors. Now, one of the things you must know about directors is that directors don't have limited liability.
You said?
Directors don't have limited liability. What does this mean? The actions that a company does, people that are responsible for it are the directors. Yes. The actions that the company does, the actions that the company carries out, people who are actually responsible for it are the directors. Because they are the ones that have decided that they are going to direct the affairs of the company. So when the company eventually goes into an activity that somebody else finds to be probably illegal, or to be fraudulent, or to be unethical, and they sue the company, can also sue the directors.
I don't want the name.
Guy.
You don't want the name.
Why?
So, like, sue the directors as an entity, like.
They will sue the company and sue the directors as part of it. And directors will bear a responsibility because they are the ones that are actually responsible for what the company does. Don't forget that the company is a new legal person. The company does not have mouths, it does not have legs, it does not have hand, it cannot do anything. So the people that are actually deciding what the company does are the directors.
Yes.
Not the shareholders. What kind of the shareholders, but the directors. It's kind of like the shareholders because the shareholders will appoint the directors. Right? In fact, what that we should do. So let's appoint our directors. You nominate who? Mrs. Busayo. Are you willing to be a director of our company?
Not now.
Not now. Who else are we nominating?
You don't fear. I will be the director.
I'm a director.
You're a director. We don't want to vote. I have 5 million shares. So let's talk very quickly. Go on, move on. Where's Mr. Sunday? Oh yeah, unfortunately. Is this being recorded?
Yes.
Okay. So we will divide this share capital into shares. Right? And the shares are going to be 25 million shares. And we are going to divide it into 25 million shares. We will divide it into 25 million shares. 25 million naira into 25 million shares. And the value of each share will be how much? 1 naira. So the value of our share is 1 naira. right? And we have 25 million shares. And each of these share that we have, each of them will have a voting right. Did you hear what I said? Each of these shares, every 1 naira share that we have, will have a voting right. Which means that I have 5 million voting rights. Titi has 3 million, Sunday has 5 million, Sarah has 1, Kade has 2, etc. etc.
So what is going to use? Voting right.
Voting rights, the right to vote. As shareholders, when we want to make decisions for the company, we want to do anything. Usually, shareholders have to vote because it's a democracy, right? A company is a democracy. So when the shareholders are voting, we can either do a show of hands, and the rest of it. But then there are some things that we don't want to just use the individual person, probably because there are a lot of things at stake, like who gets to appoint a director of the company. And I'm like, no, I have my own candidates. Don't forget that the director can be anybody. It doesn't even have to be a shareholder. I didn't say that before, but yes. A director doesn't have to be a shareholder, it can be anybody. Right? So we can bring somebody outside of us and say, what happened to the president of the director. So I can have a candidate for director. What's your name, sir?
Tayo.
I want Tayo to be a director of our company. And I have 5 million shares. Who's going to contest it? Still like your offer. I like your shares with mine. No. I like your shares with mine. Sky the offer.
Yes, sir.
I like your shares with my own, Abi.
I like.
Yeah, I might not be too. I'm just saying, you belong to the stronger side. Think
So
about
how many shares are you having?
5 million.
5 million. Like, what's the percentage?
5 million. 5 million. Check it now. That's how much?
Out of 25 million, abi?
Yes. What percentage of 25 million is 5 million?
Okay.
Right?
So you want to
We want to vote.
Yes.
And I brought it is already, we are in the same camp already. I'm just saying. Come to my side. Come to my side. Yeah, we should. You see, the 3 of us, we already have how many shares? 9 million shares. You have 4. You have what? 3, 7. We will outvote you.
You have 9 million. Mr. Sunday will join me. Mr. Patricia.
You don't know.
Mrs. Patricia, she will join me.
Patricia. Whose side will you rather be on? You rather be on my side
you
or
also have 5 million.
on the dissident side?
What is this?
On the side of the Oh, thank you. There is no way you guys can win any voting in this place because even if you had Mr. Sunday to your side, you cannot win. She's the one that decided this for us.
Yes, actually.
So this 1 million, bro.
Yeah, 1 million.
Yes, she decided it for us.
Oh yeah. Yes.
They're counting the numbers.
Use the power of our 1 million shares. She can swing the votes depending on how the camp is. Right? So, like I said, so we are all shareholders and then we want to appoint. So I want us to vote for Mr. Tayo. Guys, all of us here, we have voted. Mr. Tayo has come in. He's a director. In fact, not only is he going to be a director, we want him to be responsible for managing the affairs of the company from a day-to-day basis. Right? I also want to nominate myself as a director. Please appoint me. Thank you. You guys are
I'll appoint you.
I would like to nominate Ms. Rachel as the director also. Are you interested?
I'm not interested.
Why? People are not even made directors. One thing that I've been allowing people use you as director of their company. I don't know what's happening in the company. I'm just letting you know right now.
They don't want to be sued.
They don't put your name on the paper in CSC and they say you're a director. You don't know what's going on. You don't know whether they are using that company to defraud people. Right? Well, we don't know we are legitimate.
Yeah.
We do the right thing. You come and be a director.
No.
You still don't want to be a director. Kayode, you don't want to be a director.
No.
So Kayode is also a director. So we have how many directors now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Mr. Sunday will not mind be a director. 5. Patricia, do you want to be a director? Yes.
What of Abigail? Then another person.
You guys are trying to nominate. You want to bring her into our company. Oh yeah, nominate her now. Let's see whether we'll vote for her.
Abigail, she's not talking.
Abigail, you don't want to be a director. Anyways, so now at our first board of directors meeting, you know what we are going to do? We're going to appoint the chairman of the board. So I'd like to present myself as the chairman of the board of this company. Right? So can we all agree? Can we vote? The directors are the ones that will vote.
Is this how it works? Like the person doesn't say that I need myself. I'm saying but just doing this.
No, so this is how it's supposed to work. Especially when there are plenty.
Okay, what if not only you want to be the chairman, I also want to be the chairman, you are the chairman.
You want to
vote. Okay, we have
Majority
to
carry
vote.
the vote.
And it is the directors that will vote their own chairman, not the shareholders. The shareholders appoint the board
Director, yes.
of directors.
And
The directors in their first meeting will then appoint
Chairman.
the vote for their chairman. I would like to be a chairman. Anybody else wants to be a chairman? You're not even on our board, so.
I'm not even.
Well, you are a director. So are you contesting?
But I'm not sure he knows what
He
he
didn't hear
said. He will not be a director.
Don't worry. That being a director also means that when the company is sued,
They can sue
you
you.
can also be sued.
They can collect your property.
I don't want that.
But I want to be like.
And so
Yes, be a director. Don't be scared. Are we doing illegal things?
Yeah.
Are we going to do illegal things?
No.
Exactly. We are fine.
You say yes.
Our job as directors is to ensure that the company is as legally compliant as possible. So the person with the responsibility for the legal compliance of the company is you, director. All right. Now let me tell you something. What you guys don't know all the while is that Titi actually is a spy.
With like 3 million.
Yes. She does not actually own those shares. I am the one that owns it. She's a proxy. She's a proxy. A proxy is simply somebody that owns shares on behalf of somebody else. So she's a proxy shareholder, right? So guess who has significant control of the company?
You, the law.
It's me.
Yeah.
And now we are the chairman. And now I'm the chairman.
Okay.
So when you now talk about in companies, there's something that they always ask somebody with significant control. Anybody that owns up to 5% of the shares of the company, the person with significant control. There are some people who also are significant controllers of the company, but they are not even in the company at all.
You are not in the company.
Yes. So all of you are shareholders.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We still have a lot. Many hours now. So 1 hour 30 minutes. And we still have results. We have just got to the point where it's interesting. It's interesting. Like you guys are liking the way company.
Never start.
So now
You have to want.
okay. So now, right, like you guys were trying to appoint, we have appointed our managing director. I'm chairman of the board. Okay, she's a proxy. You don't know.
She's a spy.
She's a proxy. But whatever she's doing, just know that she's always going to be aligning. If I vote this way, she will vote that way. Because it's really my vote. Her name is just on paper. Right? I am a person with significant control. Like I said, anybody that has more than 5% of the shares of a company, the person is still in charge. Now, we've spoken about who shareholders are, we have spoken to the directors. We've said that the directors are liable for the actions of a company, right? The liability of directors is unlimited.
Sorry, sir. I don't want to leave this question. I actually wanted to wait till you finish.
Okay.
Now, someone that has more than 5% by the company is technically
A person with significant control.
where in a case whereby now you have 8,000 because you have a
Proxy. Yeah.
Now, what if I also be the same? Are you are not also aware?
You're also a person with significant control.
So both of us can be at that level.
Yes. So it's not really a level, it's a truth. You get, it's a truth. Do I have significant control? Yes or no? Yes.
Truth.
That's the truth. It's just what it is.
Most times it means that there will be a power struggle.
Exactly.
Bond.
Exactly. It's not necessarily. I mean, all of us can be friends and fine and all that.
Yes.
But the day that you guys decide to go against what I want, you don't realize I have control more than you think.
And that is not that is not
power.
I don't know that story.
Okay.
sorry, sir. That is where I'm actually going. Now, both of us are that significant level.
Yes.
I want to go against what
And let's see how much shares you have now. And let's see how much you can gather. You can gather other people that don't have control come to your side.
That same share.
And so it's now gathering other people to your side.
Right. So, for instance, what I just illustrated in the first one scenario is what we call a hostile takeover. Some other people who had smaller shares in a company decided to use their own power on their shares, buy more shares, and took over the company. Took over does not mean that the other people don't have shares. But
so, like God has one million.
yes.
So she can also buy more.
No, of course, if it's a public company, but she can come and meet you now and say, Rachel, up and down. You might be broke. And say, Alpha, I'll go share my shares, give you.
Okay.
And so that's something I could have started doing itself. I could have started buying my you people shares little by little, and you guys don't know. I'll go and meet you and say, Alpha, you don't need money, you get one thing.
I give you 20 billion.
You can even do proxy shares where there's another company that I have, and I'm like, okay, I will swap shares with you. I'll give you shares in this company, give me your own shares in this company. Stuff like that. Right. Now, the only reason why you don't see much of this drama, you don't hear any drama, is because most people's companies are just start saying, fancy. It's you and your husband, it's you and your sister, you just put somebody's name, you put your children's name, that kind of thing, and so you don't hear anything. But even for companies that is husband and wife, and brother and son, when you start making billions of dollars, that's when you that's the truth. You will know the power of your shares when you start making billions.
What if those people you include, like your husband, your children, your relative, they didn't have any shares?
And how do you include them? As shareholders or as directors?
Shareholders.
If they have shareholders, then they have shares.
But reality,
Yes.
no. But
Like they are just on news by paper. So they are proxies, but the point is that do they know they are proxies?
They don't know.
You register them as proxies. So you can have proxy shareholders, and CSC actually allows you to say you're a proxy, you're holding on behalf of somebody else. So for instance, there might be people outside the country who are not allowed to hold shares in the company in Nigeria due to some restrictions. You can hold on behalf of them. Right.
So what happens to maybe you own a company and the whole shares in that company is in
That's also another thing. You can be the social shareholder.
Because what we are ignorant of,
there is no risk.
A lot.
It's the same thing. The only problem is that you make your decisions alone.
Yes.
So you are really just you're already a sole providership, but with the protection of a limited liability company. So limit your liability. Do you understand? But there's no risk. You make your decisions alone. You can appoint other people as directors or 10 directors, but you be the sole shareholder. It's very possible. But when you decide to, if you then become like a billion naira company, you decide you want to go public. Going public means that you then want to list your company on the stock exchange where people can then buy your shares. Of course, you would have to release some of those shares to the public so they can buy it and then no longer sole shareholder.
Okay.
Sorry. Can we just end our question so that
You can continue, right? We are more now. Okay.
How many families you have to the student?
So, we are talking about shareholders, we know what shareholders are. We are speaking about directors, and I want us to zoom into directors very quickly. Okay. So, you see, the directors of a company, we have two types. No, we have three types. So, let's talk about it. We have executive directors, and we have non-executive directors.
Two types or three?
We get to the third one.
Okay. Executive directors
and non-executive directors. So what's an executive director? An executive director is a director who also is an employee. Yes. A non-executive director is a director who is not an employee. So what does it mean to be an employee? Employee simply means you are collecting salary from the company and you are responsible for actually doing a job. So some people who are usually executive directors are managing directors. Because you are going to be on the board as a director, you are going to be responsible for the day-to-day running of the company as an employee, and you'll be paid. And so most of the MDs, especially for bigger companies, they can even be brought from outside the company to come and work. But when they are appointed as MD, they are also on the board. Right? CFO's team chief compliance officer, chief financial officers, they're usually also executive directors because some of them are also on the board of directors of the company, while also being their capacity as a chief financial officer or chief operations officer or chief compliance officer or whatever. So C-suite executives usually are sometimes on the board of directors. But the important thing to note is that an executive director is somebody who is a director but is also in an executionary position as they execute. They carry things out. They do things on a day-to-day basis. They are employees of the group. Now the third one is independent director. So what's an independent director? An independent director is a director who does not have shares in the company.
Independent.
They don't have shares. They don't have any relation to the company per se. They are just appointed because they wanted somebody that can give oversight and insight without any bias or without any conflict of interest.
That's good.
So we then have what we call independent non-executive directors, which is usually what they are. Because to be independent, you cannot even be a staff. You cannot be an employee. So we call them INEDs, independent non-executive directors. So for most large companies, especially PLCs, there is a requirement by the CAC that they have an independent non-executive director to help to make sure that all other people that have bias, they can be very independent in how they decide their affairs of the company. We are along with all the other directors. So that's directors. Then you can come back to the third layer. The third layer. So we have shareholders. Shareholders appoint directors, then directors appoint or employ the employees who are the executives. Execs, right? And some of these executives will also be on the board, like the managing director, who will also be the chief executive officer and the director of the board, right? Then the executives will then be responsible for doing what? For employing the other staff.
Okay, so it's the executive that will be responsible for staff employment.
Yes.
Okay.
So the staff will then be responsible for operations. And then the operations will result in sales. And when we have sales, we then have income. Which is
It's the
and then when we then have income, we can then make profits. So our 25 million naira share capital, everybody has paid us. Directors have said that
people online will not be able to inform you. Let them complain first.
We pause.
Complain first. There's no way they can complain.
All right, so
They can complain.
the directors of the company, we have appointed, I am the director and as chairman of the board, we have appointed Mr. Tayo as the MD. Mr. Tayo, have you employed people? Yes. Employed Mr. Matthew is now one of your staff. He's in your operations and Mr. is responsible for fulfillment of delivery. Anyway, whatever be the case with other staff, what then happened? What then happened is that you guys carried out activities and then we made after paying salaries and everything, there's a profit of 10 million naira at the end of the year. 10 million. So the company has not made a profit. Our Swift Drive, Nigeria Limited, made a profit of 10 million naira a year. Let me do the whole with this. My fellow directors and shareholders here present, welcome to the annual general meeting of the shareholders of Swift Drive Nigeria Limited. I'm happy to announce that after a year of operations, we've been able to make total sales of 50 million naira, of which we made a profit before tax of 30 million and a profit after tax of 10 million naira. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is a very good performance. We are cash flow positive, and we have 10 million naira. And as the board of directors, we agreed that we are going to declare dividends. So what's a dividend?
People understand that it's dividends, yes. The profits will be divided to all shareholders.
So as board of directors, with the board, we decided that this 10 million naira profit, we can decide to share it to the shareholders.
Yes.
But that's not good business sense. We have decided that we are only giving them 1 million naira to go and share. Yes. Remaining 9 million naira, we are turning it over to the company.
Okay.
Yes. So
we won't share all the
yes.
Just share it.
That's what we decided. We could decide to share the profits. In fact, we decide not to share it.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, so that means that if you declare dividends, it's not mandatory that you pay that dividend to all the shareholders.
It's mandatory that you pay to them. That 1 million will be shared according to everybody's percentage.
Okay.
So it's now from the decision of the board to either decide to turn it over or distribute.
Exactly. So they can. So profit is profit. You can take some parts and declare them as dividends. As dividends of democracy, fruits of democracy, the result of democracy. So dividends of your shares is what you enjoy as being a shareholder, right? And so now we have, after the year, after you guys have invested your 25 million naira, giving you only 1 million naira to share amongst yourselves, all the shareholders.
Okay.
But me as the chairman of the board, I was already collecting 1 million naira, 2 million naira as for the chairman. Yes, now they're paying me director's allowance.
Wow.
2 million naira. Right? Sorry now.
Where is it stated that
that is what we agreed as a board.
No, I didn't get that part though.
That's what we agreed as a body that we will pay the chairman.
When?
We had a board meeting now.
When?
We had a board meeting. We agreed that the secretary.
It's not
Yes, like the secretary.
Sorry now. So yes, I'm being paid, and every other director was being paid 500,000 naira. We were being paid 100,000 naira sitting allowance, and we were paid 500,000 naira annual director's stipend. Don't forget that out of it, because we are the ones responsible for the company, we decided to take out what we call director's liability insurance. So ensure that if we are sued, the insurance people will pay them instead of us. And for each one of us, we paid 200,000 naira director's liability insurance too.
So we, as directors, and shareholders,
now decide to stick for the rest of you.
For the rest of us,
to start guess what will happen? What will happen is that at some point, that shares will be like, it will make sense. They are telling you to over because they're going to see you share among themselves as director and pay salary and all of those things. So like that money is going to be really overhead. I mean, so
the shareholders
then it's time to appoint
I want to ask that 2 million put on that from what from the of this meeting.
So the director
you have to make it. I'm coming.
So another question is you have to have
the chief financial officer now. We do annual audits. We do everything. You see how the money runs now. At the end of the year, the annual audit reports, which will be clear at the annual general meeting. Right? You see it. You see it. The problem that you guys have is that
you are not
we have to go out the directors. Yes.
Just because our package is
Yes.
we are a block. We are a block. Myself, Patricia, Titi, and Kayode. Look at it on our side. And we are a block. She's amongst us. We are settling her, don't worry. See, this illustration I'm giving you is very important. Because you can be a shareholder of a company and not see 1 naira. You may not see 1 naira because the directors are making money. Half, we cannot declare profit or dividend. The profits reach, we are putting it back into the business. But this business is making money now. Yes, we know, but we have to put the money back. Unfortunately, shareholders cannot declare dividends. Directors have to declare dividends, and so the only way to control directors is by removing them. The directors have a tenure. It depends on what the constitution of the company states. It has the constitution, and the constitution is called the memorandum and articles of association. This is the company's Bible, the MEMAT, which basically says when the director will be appointed, when will be removed, how many votes do you need to remove, how do you remove, duties do you need to the director, how do you basically MEMAT.
Default articles according to what is in the Corporate Affairs, the Companies and Allied Business Act. So CAMA itself makes provisions that you can just adopt and say, yes, you want it to be this way. Or you can then make your own unique and say, no, we want to change some things because that's why it's So if you want to make edits to the members, it's the shareholders that can edit members. Shareholders. Yes. But you have to do that in the annual general meeting. Right. So the shareholders will agree, but once again, we get back to the same problem. You guys have enough shares or power to make decisions. I'm saying this because if somebody can come to you and say, let's be business partners together, and then you are going to start a company, and then you floated the company, and then you do not have any, not say anything, because the money will keep going back in the turnover, and they will pay themselves as executive directors, salary. Directors allowance. They are making money.
Chairman, but I don't want to.
Chairman, they collect 2 million. Out of it, chief, but they collect 500,000 naira.
Can you imagine?
Yes. 1 million.
I want to join now.
Well, 1 million.
So that
we don't need you. We don't need you guys. All we need is her. And as long as you are keeping her happy, we are fine.
She will incorporate.
That's right. But this is how companies are. Companies are democracies, right? And so you see, for instance, let's assume that it's even a fine company and we directors are not being cunning. Let's assume that, right? Let's assume that we are very honest and integrous people. So we don't even pay ourselves this plenty money. In fact, we don't even collect any allowance. We just do normal. We are using the money for the company. What then happens is that if the company is not performing, who is responsible for it?
The staffs.
No, the directors. The people who own the company are the shareholders. They will hold the directors responsible. Directors will then hold the executives responsible. Executives then hold their own management team responsible. The management team will then hold the staff responsible according to how they feel they are responsible. And that's why they then hire and fire. That's how it works. That's how a company flows to the point where you can then have some level of productivity, because that's the flow from the top all the way down to make profits. So when you say a company that is not performing well, when you say a company that is not performing well, what it really means is that there's a shareholder who is also the director, right? And it's also most likely the CEO, right? And it's probably the only staff, or maybe they are one or two staff, and they are unable to hold their own self accountable.
So in that situation,
so if you own your own company, for instance, and you are able to appoint some other people as directors for your company, not directors on paper, maybe like director who will sit down and actually able to direct. And then those people will then hire the executive directors and you're willing to pay them well for it. You as the owner of a company can now have somebody to hold responsible for why your company is not performing.
What if they are not in that business?
Who is not in the business?
I mean, those people that you just mentioned.
9 people in business. But really, that's how I worked for a company where the shareholders come to Nigeria just twice or 3 times. They will go and meet in South Africa and then we'll talk and tell them what's what. Yeah, I mean, I can show you presentations where I made to the shareholders and told them this year we want to do 20 billion naira. This is how much we need from you. This is what we need. He said,
And that's all.
Then we spend about a week reviewing what's our proposal, what do we say we want to do. These are the amount of people that we want to employ. These are the people that we think that we need to increase their salaries. These are the people that we need. And we did it with the shareholders who also happen to be directors. So it was both like a shareholder and directors getting input. But with the executive management of the company, basically presenting to them how we hope to run their company for the next year. And so they will now say, okay, we approve XYZ amount of money for you guys to go and reach to do what you're going to do. And then, of course, I have presentations we are defending how we performed the last year. Like, you say you are going to do 2 billion. Why are we saying 1.2 billion? Yeah, actually, the economy was bad, dollar was floated, Tinubu is our president, etc., etc. And I say, oh, security, plenty excuses. Whatever be the case, this new year, we want to see, okay, we promise. We collect the money that we need. We agree to the money that we need for the new year. We go and run the company. We come back again, either with excuses or with results. Yeah. So you see the dangers of being a sole proprietor in a company setup. Because the company is actually structured to help you to be productive. If you follow the flow of one standard, you'll be productive. A sole proprietor. See, one of the biggest issues, and I like to tell my staff, is that we human beings. We are either not self-aware enough or we are not self-regulated enough. And because you are not self-aware enough, self-regulated enough, you need what we call guardrails, external things that helps to keep you in check. Right? This structure is a checking structure. And it ensures that at the basic level of carrying a bike to go and deliver for whatever the customer is, somebody else is checking, have you done what you're supposed to do? And the person that is, have you done what you're supposed to do, also has somebody else that's checking them all the way until it gets back to the shareholder. So if the shareholders are doing everything by themselves, if they are not self-aware or self-regulated enough, they don't do the right things because they cannot beat themselves. They are their own boss. And if you are your own boss and you cannot boss yourself, you are a bossless boss who will not achieve anything. An interesting one. My slides has quite a number of things it wanted to cover. Okay, let me touch on one. How many more minutes do I have? 17. 17. Let's try 17 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. I'll be speaking for, I've just spoken for 1 hour 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I actually feel like this is 2 hours or 3 hours already. I need a coffee. All right. Now, something that is important to note at this point is that this is our company. When we made 10 million, remember that when I was declaring our profits, I spoke about the fact that we had profits before tax of 12 million and profit after tax of 10 million, which means that the tax man took 2 million. So let's talk about taxes. What are taxes? Taxes are the only things that are sure in life apart from death.
Yeah, what?
It's the only thing that is sure in life apart from death. Only 2 things are certain in life, death and taxes. Yes, so you will pay tax. One way or another, you will pay tax. Yes. Or you. And it's like you pay tax. You pay that directly or indirectly, or you pay tax. Sure. The government will collect money from you. So what are taxes? Taxes are monies that are paid into government for certain actions that you take or certain incomes that you have. right? So when you, for instance, declared dividends to the shareholders, and the shareholders each got, let's assume 250,000 naira. That is income to that shareholder at that point. The shareholder then needs to pay their own tax on the profit. So let's talk about taxes. Remember that we spoke about two major business structures. We have the business name, which can be either a sole proprietor or a partnership, and we have the limited liability company. In the same vein, we have two broad categories of taxes. We have company income tax, personal income tax. So what's company income tax? Remember that the company is a legal person that has legal personality, independent from the shareholders. In the same way, it also has a tax obligation independent from the shareholders, independent from the employees, independent from the individuals that are managing or make up the company. And that tax that the company pays is what we call company income tax. And that tax is paid to the federal government of Nigeria, not the state government. So you have a company to declare profit, and from that profit, it has to pay the tax to the government. Interesting thing to note, as of 2026, with the new tax regime, if you do not yet do a turnover of 100 million naira in a year, you are not required to pay any company tax. So even if you make profit of 50 million naira, you don't need to pay tax. If your turnover is not most likely, if you make profit of 50 million, turnover will have passed. So what's turnover? Do we know what turnover is? Turnover is money that keeps turning over inside your business. Exactly. So it's some spare parts shop, for instance, that has goods that are worth 10 million. If he sold all those goods in a month and it makes 12 million, right? And it buys new things. It takes the money to buy new things, right? And the next month he sells it and it turns over. He has already done a turnover of 20 million in 2 months. If he takes it and he sells another one, all of them in the third month too, that's already 30 million. No. At the end of the year, he might have done a turnover of 120 million naira. That's 10 million naira each. That's 30. We get it. Yeah. So a company pays company income tax, and for business names, because they don't have a separate legal personality apart from themselves, the taxes that they pay is what we call a personal income tax. Now, even in the company, if a director is being paid an allowance, his money into his own pocket. That director will pay his own personal income tax on that allowance. The employees that are staff of the company, they will pay personal income tax on the salary that they are earning. The shareholders, the day they declare dividends and they collect the dividend in their pocket, they will pay tax on those shares, those dividends that they acquired, they got, because it's also income to their pocket. So that's it. Personal income tax is, however, paid to the state government, usually of the states in which you are resident. So if you reside in Abeokuta but you work in Lagos, you should be paying your personal income tax to the state government. It's not happen most likely because your company will go and help you to pay it to the Lagos state government. Usually, they deduct it from the source. You know that money will never enter your hand at all. So yeah, we do what is called payee tax. Pay as you earn. So as the money is before the company pays you, thank you. Before the company pays you a salary at all, they deducted what it is with tax. Right. Something else that you need to note if you're going to be running a company is that there are other things that you need to put in place. If you have more than 3 employees, it is actually legally mandated that you do a pension scheme. Pension. It's for them. And in Nigeria, we have what is called contributory pension.
So what is this employee contract based?
Like they are part-time.
Yeah.
They are not
full time.
salary.
Employees are employed.
Oh, really?
That's what the law says.
Wow.
Am I saying too much? Before some people go call their employers, how come? The law says an employee is an employee, right? An employee is an employee. That's what the law says, right? When your business is just starting out, usually, most of these structures are not in place. But by the time you are crossing over to 7, 8, 9, 10, you definitely have to put it in place. Because even the pensions commission will come and ask you what's going on. And by the time you start applying for certain things like government contract and things like that, they will ask you for all of these documents to be sure that you are compliant. Don't forget also, the person that is responsible for the compliance of the company are the directors. So if they are not doing this, they just make a mistake.
So sorry, before you move further, so that is why payroll is necessary, right?
Yes. But it's not just because of the taxes. It's also because payroll is payroll. It's money out. Let's know the money that's going out and see what it's going to. Right? So when you're doing the final audit, you don't say, hey, there's something you don't just know. So, I mean, if you do it that way, you will have money will move and they'll say they paid somebody that's never got paid. Right? I'm not going to talk about that. Saying it's not mandatory that everybody has a 10 tax identification number. Whether you're an individual running a business or you're a company, everybody needs to have a tax identification number. What else is important? Yes, ma'am.
Please, can you talk about the VAT?
VAT means value added tax.
And so what does it?
I have someone that do calculate that VAT.
So,
I don't really understand what
VAT is a consumption tax. It's a tax that you pay whenever you improve anything. So, if you take meat and you process it and you sell it, you have to pay VAT. But VAT is usually not paid by the company, it's paid by the customers. So it's a transfer tax. 7.5%. 7.5%.
7.5% of the total money of what you are buying.
Cost of what the person is, of what you are selling to them. Yes.
the reason why I'm asking is because I notice when you go to these malls, yes, you will see VAT. There was a time I was seeing VAT of 7,000. I was like, Kimura.
Wait, concerning what you just said now, if it's just right, I asked something of sort before. I asked one of them that why is this VAT much like this? They asked me to calculate by myself, and I waited there and calculated it. To the extent that I now noticed that the VAT is not deducted from my account. It's deducted from them, from what I bought from them. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So sometimes, right? Sometimes,
That
right?
means that already spread that VAT
into your
and it's from them, not from my.
yes.
So sometimes, some people
already taking the money.
They do VAT before price and they do VAT after price. So, for instance, you say a cost and you say this thing is 1 million naira inclusive of VAT.
That means they have already.
That means that the VAT is already inside that 1 million.
They will indicate that this is the amount.
So when they now give you your receipt,
this is what I'm trying
inside
to
the
tell
breakdown, you see that the cost of this is actually 900 and something, but your VAT is then 7.5 and everything 2,000 million.
So I'm just trying to tell you that even if they don't write it, you have already paid it before buying that.
That's it. But then there are some other establishments that after they're giving you price, do not calculate VAT.
Yes, you have to pay it. But Joshua is not like that.
It doesn't matter whether they write
I just tell her now that so that
because
you know that
no, it wasn't added to.
It was not an
It
extra
was
cost.
added, yes.
It was not an extra cost,
Like-
but you just saw that the VAT was plenty.
Yes, just let me state.
When else you're going to buy self, take me along so I can add my own. Okay.
I want to ask about tax clearance. Where is this one coming from? I asked you of that before. I was asked to submit my tax clearance, so it's not clear to me at all.
Tax clearance certificate.
Is it tax
NRS,
clearance?
Nigerian Revenue Service, formerly Federal Inland Revenue Service, NRS, is responsible for companies. Like I said, you pay your company taxes to the federal government, NRS, right? And at the end of the year, when you have fully fulfilled your tax obligations, they will clear you that you have for that year fulfilled your tax obligations. So that's clearance is what is called tax clearance. For individuals also, the same thing applies. At the end of the year, you can go and meet your state's revenue service and say, clear me that I've paid all taxes, and they give you a tax clearance certificate. Of course, they might not look at it and say, you still owe this money involved, not pay tax, then you pay and get it. That's not it. Okay, what else do you need to know?
7.30 songs. And price.
So we're speaking about corporate governance.
Much.
Right? We spoke about corporate governance, but you guys don't realize I was speaking about corporate governance. this entire thing here is called corporate governance. That's how a company is governed. That's corporate governance. Corporate governance. That's from the shareholders to the directors, to the executives, the managers, the staff. That's corporate governance. That's corporate governance. Right. So now, right now, you guys already understand how we move from. So for most things that people just say, company, you guys can confidently speak about the internal workings of a company, and then know how to structure your own business to try and mirror this to the point where you can then achieve productivity. Okay.
So in the
My name is Ayo, by the way.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Is there a difference between VAT number and serial number?
Yes. Sin is your tax identification number. Your VAT number, you just have a VAT account, not a number necessarily.
VAT account.
Yes. Because you need to be remitting the VAT and you need to see that you remitted all VAT. There's also what they call withholding tax. Withholding tax. So when you go and when you patronize somebody that is giving you a service, you might do withholding. So for instance, if I tell you to come and clean my house, I can then say, okay, how much am I paying you? 10 million, withholding 5%. That means that I'm only paying you 900 and something than that. 5% of 1 million is 50,000. So I'm paying you 950,000. And I say, why are you holding back my money? It's withholding tax.
Wow. So are you going to pay the tax rate?
I'm not supposed to now pay. So actually it's in.
And I'm not paying the tax for you.
Yes. Now, why am I paying the tax for you? I'm paying the tax for you because the government does not trust you. At the end of the year, you pay on your income. So you can then go and meet the government and say, see my withholding that people have been withholding for me is this much. The tax I'm supposed to pay is 7 million. But people have withheld in my withholding accounts so far. They don't 12 million. At this point, now they owe me 7.
Okay.
So withholding is simply a way of collecting money from you first. So I will withhold it on behalf of the government and pay it to the government. Say this person make money, if you know we can't declare that, so let me just withhold 5%. I think for individuals.
So how do the business that have been withheld tax have been removed? How do they track that?
So
does the organization give them a document to
you should be able to see that your withholding was paid into your
Okay.
You understand? Because you have access to your portal, you can see if that company paid you should have access. That's what I'm saying. So if somebody is withholding taxes on your behalf, they should ask for your thing because you are supposed to pay it. Now, technically speaking, they don't really pay it, and I'll explain why. Because the way withholding also works is that it's withholding in and withholding out. Yes. We do some things for some people, and guess what? They will withhold from us. And some people do for us, and we withhold. At the end of the year, we now do the ones that have withheld minus the ones that have been withheld from me. What's the difference? Okay, me, they owed my own 5 million. Me, I owe people 7 million. So the balance is 2 million. Is that 2 million the balance that you now pay to the government?
Okay.
No, but that's actually how it's supposed to be. Withholding in, withholding out. So you then pay the difference. Because if somebody has held back your 5 million, yes, and you held back somebody's 7 million, at the end of the day, that's the balance. So that's 2 million that you then pay to government. Yes, the money.
So all of us are now holding each other
on behalf of the government.
So let's say, for instance, I pay more than I'm supposed to pay with the government refund.
Yes, you can get a tax refund.
I have to apply for that.
Yes, you tell the government that I mean the tax refund. Some people you might just be shocked. The government will just tell you that your tax refund. Anyway, in same countries. I just that in Nigeria, anybody. Well, at some level. So this is the interesting thing here. Because I've worked in compliance and because I've worked in corporate, I do know that things can be done properly. If you want to do things properly. Government works for people that want government to work. everything that is in the law can work. In fact, it works. Right. Dangote is not going to have this withholding, tax, he will ask for tax refund. And the government can then say, okay, if instead of refunding you next year, you reduce your tax liability. The government really does not like different money. Yeah, so you can say it up against that you pay next year.
So they will not take it off from the
tax that you pay next year. Exactly, something like that. It's just tax credit that happens. If you have a tax credit,
because they are owing you.
The government is owing you, yes. This can happen. Right? And you can be the one owing government, and government will be like, instead of you giving us money, go and borrow. And Dangote does that. yes. That's Bagada
Express. Prefers even doing that because that was what he did in Kogi State.
That Bagada Expressway in Lagos, for instance, was a tax setup.
That was what he did in Kogi State.
So government works, all of these things work. If you make up your mind early enough in the course of your business, and this is where I am doing so, and this is how I want to move. That's the reason why you start being compliant early. You can then see that eventually you are able to get to the point where you're supposed to get. My time is up, I'm sure. Yes, sir. Yes. I'm not going to extend beyond my time. Right. But I think there's still a lot of things we can talk about, some things connected to this in one day. Yeah. I went to school for like 6 years to be able to. So definitely cannot exhaust it in one day. Right. But I hope that these ones that we have done has brought you the greater light understanding on how the internal workings of an organization is. Maybe the only thing that we'll just add is that at the end of the year, there are compliance requirements. You have to do audits, to audit your accounts, you have to report. In CC, you have to file what we call an annual returns to say this is the amount you made. You're not paying them all. You just probably pay the filing fee, but just to it to be on record that that's how you're trying to file the money you made, your turnover, your profit, etc. as CC. So annual returns. For the taxman, which is the Nigerian Revenue Service, you're supposed to file your audited statement of accounts and also pay your taxes. For other government bodies, depending on the industry in which you are, you might have license requirements. Like for instance, if you are in telecommunications, you probably need a telecommunications license. At least one of the telecommunications licenses. You'll be regulated by your own sector regulator, which will be the Nigerian Communications Commission, in this case for telecommunications. If you're in the banking sector, you have your own regulator. The regulator will be the Central Bank of Nigeria. And you also have compliance requirements with CBN. CBN might say they want to see your books. And they might also tell you how you should structure your books for them, right? If you are in the food health sector, your regulator might be Nigerian Medical Council Association. If you are in the legal sector, for instance, the NBA is your own regulator. If you are in the food sector, NAFDAC will want to regulate you to know whether you are giving people poison or you are giving them tendencies. What do you do? Right, agriculture, and if you process seeds and you shelf whatever you process, that will be regulator. If you export it, Standard Organization of Nigeria will want to make sure that whatever you're exporting is of export quality. So you have sectoral regulators like that who might either require you to have a license or might require you to perform to a particular standard to be able to operate. And then they also have compliance requirements like what you need to do every year or every 3 years to be sure that you are doing the right thing. Now, for some companies in some sectors, the share capital is not always the same. Some sectors, regulators will require that you have a minimum share capital of XYZ amount so you can do certain activities. For instance, the CBN currently is mandating that commercial banks should have a share capital of some hundreds of billions of naira. So you cannot start a commercial bank today without having your share capital, right? If you want to set up a payment processing company, you need a share capital of 1 billion. If you want to do agency banking, I think that one's 100 million. I mean, there are different share capital requirements, so you can different industries.
According to what your capacity can be.
It's not your capacity, according to what you want. So if it's not you that now ask yourself that, I have the capacity to do what the law says. Now, let me say something that is very interesting, and this might come surprising. Because I like to add tidbits when I have this kind of engagement with people. When you hear 100 million, is it a lot of money? It's not. I'm saying it deliberately. $1 billion is not a lot. It is a lot, but it is not a lot. And I know that we are conditioned to not think about businesses in terms of the hundreds of millions of people, but you can. There are plenty licenses available in Nigeria today that may require you to have like a 10 million or 100 million naira share capital. That does not mean you're actually paying the 100 million to anybody at that time. It just means that you must be what is your option. And you can apply for a license and be doing very good business. Right? I'm just saying. So expand your horizon, expand your thinking. I want to see multi-billion naira companies coming from this training to the point where yes, we can talk about the fact that the seeds of this structure that you have also at the Africa what's it called Masterclass on business growth compliance and innovation, I think. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
My name is and I'm available for some questions.
Online audience.
Any questions?
Question.
Patricia,
She really followed.
my co-shareholders. In the absence of any other questions, I would like to.
I have a question.
Please ask. Please ask. Sorry. Please ask a question. What's your question?
You can on your video. You can the place where you can do that anyway.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can.
We're not here again. Patricia.
It's not Patricia, it's Abigail.
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, you can type your question into the comment section if you have any issues
No, I
with your
think it's
communication.
Nathan that wanted to ask a question. Sir.
Yeah, so you can type it. Whoever has a question can type it in the comment section if you have any issues with your audio.
Oh,
In the meantime, let me take the question.
Okay, the question is concerning the registration of the business, living salary company.
Yes.
When are we start the annual
Returns.
yes?
Is
Like what we want to do today, right? Is it this time next year or I don't know?
It's from a year from when you take it. So
As-
I'm not filing.
as
So
a-
once you have your certificates, set the date on it.
As I am now, I want to migrate or upgrade from business to so is it the same thing next year? I will not do that business thing, the dates again.
So annual returns is really you can choose the dates whether you file your annual returns in the January, February, March. The important thing is that you do it within a 12 months period.
So that means we have to read
That's what I was told was that once it's late, they used to pay fine.
Yes. So once you decide that this is your starting date, you have to do it within a period of 12 months from that date. Or but not later than 31st of December of that year. You understand?
So now-
whichever one comes first. That is your anniversary. Or the 31st of December.
So have to mention that date.
Fine is not plenty now, I guess.
It's not true. When you calculate each month, eh?
It's per years.
Is it per years?
So yeah, it's an annual penalty. I think it's like 10,000 per year. That's why it's
Okay.
20,000. I'm not sure again. But it's not.
So now, oh, please, pay that. Now we,
It's okay. Consult your lawyers.
not really. This would be, yeah,
Oh, IRS is different from CSU.
yes.
Okay.
I,
Annual returns is different from audited statement of accounts. Audited statement of accounts is the one that goes to the
Yeah, I think I have someone that used to close for me.
To do all your annual returns at 600. So the question comes, are we going to get a slide of the training? I've not used a slide though, but there's a slide that we use. Yes. Type your question here into your network and slide it should be good. Is there any other questions still coming up? If you are still going to ask a question, maybe you are typing it, please raise your hand on the online platform.
Okay, she's typing a question.
Okay.
Can I ask my question now?
Please do.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for the training. I think it's a big help. So regarding the company income tax,
Yes.
I want to ask, are we like for those that are getting the 100 threshold? Are we also do we need to declare the company income tax?
Yes, you're supposed to go and file with the NRS and tell them that I don't owe you any money. I've not made 100 million naira. In fact, I made profit of 30 million, but I'm not paying you any tax. I'm filing zero taxes. You still have to file the zero tax. Do you understand? Whatever be the case, you must always file. Yes. Okay. Thank you for your question. Any other question?
Lastly, in terms of the tax and stuff, is it compulsory that we must get an auditor?
So for a private company like a small company, you don't need to have an auditor to it. Public companies will need an auditor to it.
So how do we, like, from the account now, we just have to just state how much came in and the expenses?
For as long as the NRS agree or the states, whoever it is you are dealing with, if they agree with you, it's fine. If they don't agree with you, they can bring their own independent auditors. Yeah. In fact, sometimes they just tell you to give you all their books, they give them by themselves. And they not show you where they think that you have been avoiding. Or probably put everything. Okay. All right, we are done. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Now this. Thank you very much. I'm not going to this professional title and qualification. I'm not always
Star,
so,
Esquire.
this is what we're going to do. For those that are also joining us online, want to appreciate Barista. Barista, please can you just come forward while we give you what we call love clap. So the way you accept our love, we give the love clap and we want to see how you accept the love we are giving to you for the wonderful presentation. So now I don't know if we have anyone that knows what we call the love clap. No. So this is you go like this. Mm-hmm. 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 Then we throw in that wonderful case for the job well done. So can we do that together? Just wow. Thank you, Abigail, you are laughing. Yes, we want to give a barista that wonderful love clap. So let's go together. So thanks for that wonderful presentation. So I will call on the training and capacity development lead for Africa Innovation to come and wrap up the session for us, and he'll also be telling us what we have to do as we step out of the training center, the training hall. So basically, what is expected of us to do as we go out now and in preparation for tomorrow as well. Thank you very much.
All right. That was an awesome section, and I would say thank you so much, Barista, for that awesome and very engaging class. I believe that everybody goes online and physical as in a lot of things, and they have a lot of takeaways and a lot of things to work on as they go ahead. It was actually an awesome section. I personally gained a lot. I don't know about you, but if you gain a lot, just clap for yourself. Just clap for yourself. Thank you so much. All right, to move ahead, for the business registration, a form will be shared with us, and on that form, you'll be having different details that you need to fill in. Your business name, the intended business name, the things, the everything that you need will be on that form. So we love that you fill it before the end of these 3 days, and we make sure that every details are accurate and for sharing that. I believe that the third section today was also to the extent that you know how you set your shareholders, you know how you set the directors and the people needed in the company at large. Without further ado, I would like to appreciate everybody for coming, and I would say that we are expecting you in full force tomorrow. And definitely, if you have somebody that still wants to do their business registration, or somebody that would love to have access to this section or something, they can as well still register to be part of this section. And thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for following us online. We appreciate you and we love you. Yeah.
Because like for the slide,
Yeah, for the slide.
yes, and the recording can we get everybody after the training?
Yes,
We can reference and
so yes, you see how
okay.
get that.
Thank you so much.
Alright, so I think the media team would like to interview one or two of us. Yeah, this one.
Thank you, online audience.
Alright, thank you. Abigail, thank you.
Patricia.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Wow. Hello, man. How was the section? So sorry.
Collect the form now.
Yes, it will be sent to you, your WhatsApp.